Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this wonderful Thursday night. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the eclipse and all the funky, weird stuff about it, all the synchronicities, all of the things that aren't matching up, all the things that do match up. Jara, how are you?
I'm behind you.
I know. Hi. Is that the back of my head?
It is the back of your head.
No way.
Checking out my own butt.
Oh my God, that's what the back of my hair looks like? Cool. So if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, hit the thumbs up on your way out or on your way in. I would appreciate that. I do this show to plug my practice. I'm a hypnotherapist and a life coach. So if you're interested in hypnotherapy, please check out my website to learn more about me and my services. It is Awakening Hearts 333 Hypnotherapy and Coaching.
Absolutely, she's awesome. I am a client or a customer, patient, whatever you want to call it.
I also want to plug the shop that I will be doing classes at regularly. It is the Place of Spiritual Wisdom, and it is on Peoria Avenue. It is 9720 West Peoria Avenue, Suite 108.
Are we going to put that information in the...
I will put that information in something. And also, I put that information in the bio of this video. Not only that, but yeah, this place is going to be having a psychic and wellness fair. There will be tarot readings, aura readings, astrology, channeling, raffles, prizes, Reiki, sale. There's going to be a whole bunch of merchandise for sale from artists and people that sell stuff all over, including me. There will be soaps, jewelries, lotions, metaphysical supplies. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ooh, look at that. So that is going to be on Saturday, April 6th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So please come check that out if you're local. It's going to be a great time. And come check out the store. It's an amazing store, has an amazing owner, amazing people there, and I really love it.
Yeah, very cool. They have a lot of really cool books. They have this book carving. I'm pretty sure that it comes alive.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
The carving on the face was so realistic. It was really cool. He's your father. No, I'm just kidding. I said he's your father. I don't know if he was a Buddha. I don't know what he was, but he looked like a monk or something.
He looked like I don't know, like a really nice, maybe Genghis Khan with less facial hair.
Yeah, maybe like a nicer Genghis, like a nice twin.
Like, yeah.
Hey, look, we're all talking to each other like this.
I know, huh? Sit over there. I think I should, actually. I think I should sit over there.
Yeah, I set it up so you could sit over here with me.
So, yeah, we're at my mom and dad's house.
And it's a beautiful night out here. I don't know what the temperature is, but... Oh, you can't hear Jara. She's coming over here in a second. Hey, Enzo, how you doing?
I'm going to watch myself back up.
Back that thing up.
I'm watching myself.
Back it up. Back it up. Look back at it. Look back at it.
Oh, there we are. Oh, wait, I was going to put a song behind us, too.
Okay, go ahead.
But I got to sit somewhere.
There's the link in the chat if anybody like Enzo would like to join us. Oh, what are you going to do?
I have to be close to the plug. To be close to you, so I'm going to...
Oh, I have it set up so you could... Oh, want me to move over?
Or I could just, because I need my computer. Watch out, Doug.
Okay.
Hang on. Yeah, you move over.
Okay. We're going to do a little switch-aroo.
Move. Okay. There we go. Everybody like my $10 Walmart dress?
It's beautiful. I like it.
It's new. I don't buy new clothes very often. I'm a cheapskate, everybody.
I got all her old clothes and I love them. They are so perfect. Okay. There. We did a little switcheroo. There we go. Switcheroo. And then, oh, you're going to stay on your computer? Okay. Then.
Yeah, because I got stuff on my computer.
This will be all my screen right here.
I got stuff on my computer. So, hi, Enzo. Did you put the link in the chat?
I did.
So the other day, I stopped by Susie's to get some wood, and I was telling her, I don't even know what made me bring that up when I was talking about my name.
Why were we talking about you?
I just brought it up out of nowhere. You know how I do that, like randomly, like I did today
just like
about mana.
the blobbies.
Yeah.
Blobbies.
So I was randomly telling Susie that whenever I look up my name, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Mandela effect or whatever, but I was like, whenever I look up my name, I think it's weird because I always see something new about like what my name means or whatever, and I don't understand that really. I guess new information can come out, but whatever. So, but anyway, I was like trying to show her that what I was talking about, and so I just put in Jara in ancient. That's all I put. And like the very first article that popped up, I was like this article, for example, I've never read this article, and I started reading it, and it's about the name Jara, and it was really weird. It actually made me cry, which is so embarrassing.
That's not embarrassing. People that cry are very strong because you got to be strong enough to cry. If you're not strong enough to cry, well then get out of here. Get out of here.
It made me cry because I felt like
hi Enzo.
You say
hi,
come in, then you say get out of here. Make up my mind. Hello.
How you doing?
How are you? I am
I'm
sick as a
good.
dog.
Oh no. Okay, well if you can't stay on long, let us know. That's fine.
It's-
Are you
it's-
hydrating?
It's allergies. I'm even though I am 56 and was born here on this planet, apparently I'm allergic to all of it.
Right.
Everything's blooming where I live right now, and as you can see, I've got some sun today because I was outside running around, and I shouldn't have done that. Apparently, going outside is not good for me.
Oh no!
All the shit they're spraying in the air.
Right, something.
Or it could be cloud seeding.
I don't know. I
think I just need some medicine.
Yeah, some beer medicine, some whiskey medicine.
That's a good medicine, right?
What kind of medicine is that there? The good kind?
This is called larceny. It's a little
it looks like medicine from the olden days.
It does. It looks like snake oil.
It does. It does. You get pop the cork and you start self-medicating. Nice. So
does it give you the burn?
Cheers.
Like the burn?
Feel the burn.
Oh yeah. It burn it all out.
Burn it down. Burn the whole house down.
So no, the reason I started crying was because I felt like it was like actually just I felt like it was kind of describing how I am. So it was weird, but Susie was like, keep reading it. So anyway, I thought I would share the article because it was touching and I felt like it described who I am. So, or at least what I aspire to be like anyway. So I will do that if you guys don't mind.
I would love to hear it, Jara.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Now let me find it. Well, now let me find it. Where did I put it? Where did I go? Okie dokie. So the origin of the name Jara. And this was, I saw when I was reading this, I was convinced that my phone or something had been listening to me talk and somehow AI generated an article like
I want to add something, but I don't know if you want me to add it. But
no, you can add it.
I feel like you're because Jara, you are a force to be reckoned with, and I feel like you're playing small sometimes. You don't know your greatness, and I think that article came up just to show you your greatness.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so it says the name Jara holds a rich history and deep cultural significance. So before delving into the historical context, it's essential to comprehend the name Jara itself. Jara is a name of ancient origins, deeply rooted in various cultures worldwide. Its unique sound and powerful meaning have contributed to its enduring popularity, which is weird because I don't think it's popular, but
I've heard a few.
As we explore the linguistic origins of the name Jara, we discover a fascinating tapestry of meanings and associations. The name Jara has diverse linguistic origins, making it a truly global name. In Sanskrit, Jara means old age or decay, symbolizing the cycle of life. So they look at aging differently in Eastern cultures, but
yeah, look at it as good.
Yeah. So this interpretation highlights the profound
wise.
wisdom and acceptance of the natural order that the name Jara embodies. In Czech, Jara translates to spring, representing new beginnings and rejuvenation. The name carries with it the promise of growth, vitality, and the blossoming of new possibilities. It evokes images of vibrant landscapes filled with blooming flowers and the sweet melodies of birdsong. The name Jara can also be traced back to Hebrew, where it derived from the word Yarich. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, meaning moon. This celestial association adds, which I delved a little bit deeper into that. And I guess there was some like, because back then there was also, before the religions we have now, there was also like goddess venerating people. And I guess Reach was some like
goddess. But I want to know the spelling on that.
Yareach. Okay, so this is the part that I like. So in various traditions, Jara is associated with wisdom, resilience, and the pursuit of knowledge. It has been bestowed upon esteemed individuals throughout history who have left a lasting impact on their respective societies. In ancient cultures, the name Jara was often given to individuals who displayed exceptional wisdom and insight. These individuals were revered for their ability to navigate the complexities of life and offer guidance to those around them. The name Jara became synonymous with sagacity and intellectual prowess.
And then what was sagacity again?
I forgot.
I forgot too. What was? someone that sagacious, remember?
Sagacious.
It is sagacity is the quality of being so the quality of being sagacious. Okay, well that helped, didn't it? So what does that mean? Sagacious means having or showing keen mental discernment and good judgment.
Ma'am.
So that would be
me.
Jara. That'd be me. Okay, where was I at? I just lost my place. Where did I go now? Okay, so furthermore, Jara is associated with resilience and the ability to overcome adversity. Throughout history, there have been countless tales of individuals named Jara who faced formidable challenges and emerged stronger than ever. Their stories serve as a testament to the indomitable human spirit and the power of perseverance.
The abominable.
Indomitable. I said abominable. The pursuit of knowledge is another significant aspect of the name Jara. Those who bear this name are often driven by a thirst for learning and a deep curiosity about the world.
That's you.
They are avid seekers of truth and are not afraid to question conventional wisdom.
Right on.
That's me. The name Jara has become the symbol of intellectual exploration and the relentless quest for understanding. So, and so that's me. That's like super me. Anyway, I thought that was cool that my name meant something cool. I thought it meant water jug.
Thank you for sharing that. I know.
Water jug.
Yeah. Well, and your mom, Susie's mom, used to call me Jarita.
And that means little arrows.
Oh, does it?
In Spanish, yeah.
I wonder why she called me that.
Because Jara, Jarita. Jara, Jara.
Oh.
That's how you.
Oh, so Jara is an arrow?
Jara in Spanish is arrows, little arrows.
Really? Huh. That's interesting. I did not know that.
You didn't? You just thought she was calling you something weird all the time?
I just thought, I don't know. She did the Jara and added the Ita.
Jarita. Jarita.
Jarita. Yep.
I like the Harita.
Yep.
That
Anywho,
sounds nice. That sounds
Thank
good.
you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, but what we really want to talk about is the eclipse.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are crazy, don't you think, Enzo? Enzo might go if you're not sick, huh? But
that's the craziest part is I'm gonna drive like 5.5, 6 hours just to be in the middle of it.
Yeah, Enzo, why in the hell are they posting up the National Guard and the hazmat people? The radiation. Why? Yeah.
I don't know about I know Texas was talking about declaring an emergency and all that, because basically what's going to happen is everybody's going to swarm to these bigger cities that are in the total darkness path. And as soon as it's over, they're all going to bug out all at the same time. So all the roads are going to get swamped. People are going to get stuck in traffic. It's going to be classic LA style traffic jam in the middle of the country, mostly around big cities. That's because Dallas and Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio. There's a few others that are down south there that are, of course, this is because it'll be the totality part will be over by like 1 p.m. And then as the moon passes over the rest of the disk, it'll be completely off by like 3 p.m. local there in Central Time. So long before that, people are like, "Oh, cool! I saw it. Let's get the hell out of here." And it's just people are going to get stuck, and the roads aren't designed for that. And you get one meatball in a broken down RV in the front of the line. There's hundreds of miles of people that are stuck that can't get out. That kind of thing. So that's where they're leaning in. I don't know anything about radiological or any of that stuff.
So in Oklahoma, they have the National Guard, and I don't know what they're called. The hazmat people for the nation, though. You know what they're called?
Where'd you hear? I know that there's several counties in Texas that have actually that they did already put in for a declaration of emergency or disaster or whatever, so that the funds would be freed up should there need them. I don't know about the hazmat thing. I haven't looked into that yet, but
I don't know where I saw it because I look at so many things. I don't know.
In Oklahoma?
Yeah, Oklahoma. So Oklahoma is going to be at 97, was it until 97% at 149?
I have a map if you want to look at that.
That was an awesome map. Maybe we should look at it again.
How do I add I don't know how to add my slides on here.
Oh, you don't?
To like, if I have a Google Slides right here, then how do I share it? Or publish?
Okay,
to
so
the
if you have
web?
Google Slides, push present at the bottom here.
I did that.
Okay, so then you push slides,
Right.
and then what happens?
I did that. You hit slides, and then I hit Google Slides. Down at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, I did that.
Yeah.
And then it does nothing.
Nada.
So it didn't have anything up there.
Or you could pull it up on your computer and then share your screen.
Okay, I can just do
That
that.
could work.
Yes.
That could
I'll
work,
just do
bud.
that. So let me ask you, Enzo, about the eclipse. Do you know about all the different things about it that are weird or whatever? You know how we talked about how it's going over the cities of Nineveh. Do you know about all of that stuff?
I'd heard about that. I've seen a couple of TikTok videos making fun of other TikTok video people that are doing the whole doom and gloom end of the world thing.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be about doom and gloom or whatever, but I can tell you that the track is accurate, that it's accurate. I've checked it myself more than once.
I think because of the way that the United States was formed, and there's a lot of teeny tiny little towns throughout all of the United States that people just don't even see on maps, but they have their own little names because it was mostly Western European people that settled and staked their claim throughout the U.S. as that went on from East Coast traveling west. They would name things after biblical towns, biblical characters, and things like that. So to say that, okay,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
but to say, wow, there's various names or whatever in there, that doesn't really surprise me. You could probably pick out a dozen different names that are in every, there's probably about a dozen Springfields in there. There's probably a dozen other biblically related characters and places and things like that are also named those places in various states along its path, because it's a pretty long path. It starts down in Mexico, runs through the middle of Texas, and goes all the way up to Maine. So that's a pretty wide swath of land that if we want to pull up the map there and look at that.
Oh, wait,
I've got mine too. It is a pretty big swath of land. I've actually downloaded the path, the animation from NASA too, that kind of goes slow over everything. It doesn't show.
Yeah, that's this one. But this is you see the dark band. That's just the totality part. For areas that are only partially covered, if you're way out here on this line, that's still 75%.
Right.
And 50 and blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot going on, but as we can see, it'll start down here in the south, down in Mexico, go through San Antonio, all of Dallas and Tyler and everything in between there, Little Rock. Russellville is the area I'm aiming for the closest place to me to be in the middle of all of this. Cape Girardeau.
Where is that?
Yeah.
Russellville?
Yeah, Russellville, Little Rock. For that location, I'll be 4 minutes and 12 seconds, and when the moon is completely covering the sun. So 4+ minutes of darkness and just seeing the corona of the sun on the outside.
So,
And
the in 2017, 7 years ago, the last time there was a total solar eclipse that went over the path of totality, went over the United States. It went over 7 cities that were named Salem, that were in 7 different states. What do you think about that?
Again, that's kind of the same thing. I feel it's a lot of places have a lot of the same name that gets used over and over and over again. I'm sure I haven't even looked, but I would be willing to bet good money that Kansas probably has a Las Vegas, Kansas somewhere in it. Something like that. It's not unusual for names to get reused over and over again, especially from original places in the original East, where maybe somebody was born in Salem or liked Salem, or that was their port of entry when they came to the United States, and they moved to another place that kind of remind, you know what, we're going to call this place Salem, Illinois or whatever it is. So it's I can see it. Actually, we can probably look at.
So for you, that doesn't hold any kind of, because I asked ChatGPT about how rare it would be. There's actually only 7 Ninevehs. There are more Salems, of course. However, all of the Salems that went through were actually within the complete total path of totality in that case. And there is a city that both eclipses is going to be going through. The odds, like mathematically speaking, even if you have a bunch of cities that are the same name, it's still super rare that it's happening like that. So much so that's not the only coincidence or thing that goes along with the eclipses too, that make it seem, I don't know. I asked ChatGPT what they would conclude about it because of it being so rare, so weird, and so it listed a few different things that people might conclude. But you can't, like I said, you can only have so many coincidences before it's not really a coincidence. I'm not saying there's going to be doom and gloom.
It's on purpose.
But I do think
we're just culminating all.
I'm not saying there's going to be doom and gloom, but I do think that there's a whole lot of evidence that there's somebody that is or something intelligent controlling something that we have no control over.
Right.
And I think the reason they're declaring emergency is because I think they're worried. I think they're worried.
I think they know something. They're planning something. I think they're planning something evil, and they're going to blame it on like an act of God or something.
Here is something also that I am a little concerned about. Is the part of the country that this is going over, and I didn't realize this until today when I heard it, and I just checked it before. That's what I was looking at before you got here. It's going to go, the part that it's going over that is the X of the 2 eclipses or whatever. It's going to go over the New Madrid fault line area. Is that where you're going to be at, Enzo?
Well, New Madrid's pretty. But before we get a little bit more into the map, to answer Jen's question in the chat, she's in Columbus, Ohio, and what's it going to have for the 8th? It is just on the edge of that total darkness line. So it's going to be literally 99.9%. There's going to be just a tiny sliver of the sun that is just the tip, which the sad part is like, if you're inside that dark area, you can actually take your protective sun, little solar glasses off and look directly at it because the sun is totally blocked. But technically for Columbus, for that, few seconds where it's mostly covered, 99.9, this, I'll throw this link in the chat and you'll have to copy paste it to your own browser to look at it. But you can click on any place and it'll tell you what your coverage is and what time it'll start. Like when the moon just starts to touch, like for Columbus in this example at 1:55 p.m. is when it'll start. Halfway will be at 2:40. 3:12 p.m. local there in Ohio is when it'll be 99.9% covered. And then it'll be totally done by 4:26 p.m. So this is about a 3-hour window from when it just starts till it's totally done. Now I imagine, like we were talking about earlier, once that totality part is done and you start seeing the sun peek out, when it gets to like the halfway point, that's when you'll probably see everybody's like, okay, we saw it, get in the car, let's go, kids. And that's when you start seeing mayhem on the highways. Part of my plan of going to Russellville, Arkansas, is there's not any like majors. Like Little Rock would be like the biggest city for me, and then I can navigate around, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, all that stuff because I'm driving back up here to Wichita. So for me to get out of that area where I would not go down anywhere near Dallas. I would not go anywhere near Texarkana. I would not go anywhere near Little Rock. I would stay west of Little Rock, if anything. But there's other little roads, little back roads and stuff like that, that I can take to get out of there. And not having a job, being full blown retired, it's not like I have to be anywhere. So if I have to hang out for a little while for the roads to clear up, that's not a big deal to me. But as far as the different paths, hang on just a second here. Let me pull this up again. I think there's a way. Ah, damn it. I thought there was a way.
Oh, yeah. You can go onto the NASA website and you can plug in stuff and.
Yeah, I thought I could do it with this one, but the one that it shows where they cross and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it happens so often. I say so often, it's going to be 20 years after this one on the 8th for the next full eclipse in the US. But it happens
2030. Is it 2030 or 20? When is it again? I forgot. 2030.
It'll be 2054. It's like right at 20 years. So that's why I want to go and see the whole experience, because I may not make it to 20 more years. And if I do, I would be in my 70s. I'd be 76 and may not necessarily feel
you
like
might be Enzo. You're still going to be rocking at 76.
My family's very long lived, like deep into their 80s.
Yeah.
So, and they never took care of themselves. I sort of take care of myself. Hang on, I need a drink.
You are going to be still kicking around, and you're going to be up and around and everything.
I don't know how mobile I'll be at 76. So I'm going to take advantage. I'm looking at this as the last time for sure I can be in the totality to experience the whole 4+ minutes of darkness, and which I've never been able to do because I've always lived somewhere well outside of it, and I couldn't really travel, blah, blah, blah. This time, the only thing that's going to prevent me is the weather. If it's, this somewhere in this stretch of the band, if it's heavy clouds and stuff like that for the latter part of the afternoon, that's the only thing that would stop me from traveling. So I'm going to be looking at local weather forecasts for this giant swath.
I think I heard something too about there's also going to be a comet that will be visible.
Oh yeah, there's a comet called, and guess what the comet's called? The Devil's Horns.
Yeah, that's true.
And I
Uh,
think the last time that the comet was visible during an eclipse was something significant, but I don't.
Oh, really? Wow, we'll have to look it up right now.
Yeah.
because where the
So,
comet is
so
right
Angel,
now,
you
it's on
found out
the
that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, where that comet is, it's like spinning around the sun right now, so you can't see it because it's on the
Right.
sunward side of Earth.
Right.
But during the eclipse, there's a pretty strong chance and that's the problem with comets
Only
is you
the
never know
people
how
in the
bright they're going to be until they start getting closer to the sun and they start belching off all that material to reflect the light. How big they're going to be. Like you might remember like when Hale Bopp came around in the 90s. That was really bright. That was spectacular to see that. I don't know what this one's going to do because it's a lot of people seem to think it might be pretty bright as well. But it is one of those things to kind of keep an eye out. Once if you're in that totality area where it gets totally dark, you might get a chance to see it with the naked eye.
Yeah, you should be able to. They say. All those things together. That's weird odds to me.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
That is a lot of stuff. That's statistically like a lot of stuff to not be something.
Yeah.
Strange.
So I guess before in the Dark Ages, before that started, before there actually was some days of darkness. Guess what day that started? On an April 8th. It was like before the Renaissance, something like that. That's what I heard. I don't know all the details because I'm not as good as Jara about that stuff, but I heard that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's the Nineveh, the Salem.
So what is the significance of Nineveh or
Nineveh? So Nineveh was a city that was a wicked city in the Bible, and Jonah was a prophet, and Jonah was instructed to go to the city of Nineveh, and he was to let them know that if they didn't stop their wicked ways or whatever, that the city would be destroyed. But Jonah, I guess, didn't really want to go do that because I think he was afraid of the people he had to go tell or something. So he tried to go the opposite way. And God was like, no, can't do that, dude. And he got on a boat, and I guess the ocean started getting all crazy and stuff. Because God, he wasn't listening to what he was supposed to do. So they were like, yo, like, what'd you do to make your God so mad? Because he's going to like kill us because you're on our boat. And he was like, just let me get off the boat, dump me off the boat, or else you guys will go down. So he was like dumped off the boat and like swallowed by a whale. And he went, and the Nineveh city was spared. I think that it was destroyed 148 years later anyway. But so he was Jonah, and it's also going to be going over Jonah, Texas too. That's another little side note there.
Oh, Jonah.
Yeah.
There's another.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know.
What do I think is going to happen?
Nothing.
I don't think anything's going to happen. I do think that it is a sign. I think that it's a sign for the beginning and the end of something. I think it is a sign that something has. It's a sign. I think it's a big time sign, and I think it's a sign.
A sign of what?
I think
exactly?
it's a sign from spirit. It's a spiritual thing. I don't know if it's a sign from God or if it's a sign from the fake God that pretends to be God. I'm not quite sure, but I think it is something spiritual. Yes, unless aliens can control the sun, I think it's something spiritual.
Well,
I think this kind of
thing is,
I think it's a sign that's meant for some people to mark something. And so we won't know yet what it means, but it's definitely a sign. God, I feel like God or somebody's like literally writing on earth something.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think anything's going to happen.
I don't think anything will happen that we know of like that day. I do think that there are people that could try to take advantage of the fact that it is an eclipse and try to make things happen. I think that is a huge possibility, actually. If you want to go, oh, she's a pretty cute. If you want to scare yourself, why? What does she say, Jen?
Oh, what is her name? Reverend Donna Serafina.
What is she saying about what's going to happen? There's a lot of different things about the eclipses that you can pick apart, and there's a lot involved with it. It's weird. Yeah, Pfizer's in the path too.
Pfizer.
Her video of how it
Plants
ends,
all
of how what
over the
ends, of how the world ends, or of how the solar eclipse ends. I think that the world is definitely going to be going through some very super duper interesting times.
I hit my funny bone and it was not
For the
funny.
next, I don't know, the rest of our existence.
Forever and
Starting
ever.
Starting now.
It
and
does.
end of
I'll have to admit, it does kind of feel like there's kind of a turn going on. There's a lot of people that are really fed up with a lot of foolishness that's been going on for a while now. And they're like, no, we're not doing this anymore.
If everyone, let's do it. How about everybody don't pay their taxes?
Like that isn't what Osiel said. Didn't he want people to tell people about?
Oh yeah. What did he say? He said for everybody just
so Susie is friends with
an oracle.
And
he's my buddy.
He's very, to me, he feels very authentic, like super a lot. And he wasn't saying necessarily anything's going to happen during the eclipse, but there are things that are going to be happening in the world for sure. And stuff could be kind of weird and scary. And
how does
I don't know. I think that all you guys that are that you guys that have podcasts on what are they called? Cryptoids or cryptids and phantazoids and monsters. Y'all are gonna have a whole bunch of work for you.
Yeah, you're gonna have a whole. Oh, you know
your
what he
hands
said?
are gonna be so full of
that
monsters. You're not gonna even know what to do with.
We need to stop funding CERN.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
CERN's bad.
Stop funding CERN.
I say effing CERN. I hate effing CERN.
Yeah, CERN's gonna mess up some stuff. Yeah,
but
and
as far as cryptid thing's interesting because it's a pretty well established fact that an eclipse, especially if you're in that dark band there of totality, is all the wildlife and all that, like all the birds will start going back to their nests, they'll go to sleep, all of that stuff, especially if you're in that super dark area like we're 4 minutes. Because birds, when they get up and they leave the nest and they go forage for food and water and stuff like that in their little area. Every bird has a different area that they
even the crickets
kind of
come
patrol.
out.
Yep, the crickets will come out. The animals will think, "Oh, geez, sun's going down early for some in the middle of the day. I must be time to go to sleep." But because I've seen that myself with other eclipses when I was closer to the darker area than like where I am now. But it's exactly that. You'll hear the crickets start singing once it gets dark. You'll see birds when it starts to get like over halfway through, where it's like, whoa, what's going on? You'll see birds start heading back for wherever their nest is to bed down for the night because the day's ending early. And then, an hour later, when it starts getting brighter out, they're like, what the hell's going on?
I did have like a little, I don't know if it was like a premonition or what, but I feel like earlier when I was looking at stuff, I feel like I kept seeing on the Google Maps, it kept changing, and I swear, but then it was like not. I swear I kept seeing New Texas.
It said New Texas?
New Texas?
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Did I just drop the F-bomb?
Yeah.
Oops.
I don't know. I don't know what that means. But
so I'll tell you one thing that I'd like to share, if I'd like to put anything out there about anything, is that we can't fear. There's nothing to fear, you guys. Just let everything happen the way it is and don't pay attention to the fucking fools in the White House or the government. Just don't pay attention, because if you pay attention to it, then you'll be involved in it. But if you
don't have to be afraid, but I think it's important to realize that everything is important and everything has meaning. There's nothing happening by mistake here. Everybody
you should always be aware of what's going on.
Right.
Maybe not necessarily fear it or you should be able to, it's like, oh man, they're doing this. That means they're going to raise taxes. They're going to do this
Don't
stuff.
be
And
afraid anyway.
they're just doing that to get us into a war. All of those kind of things.
Right.
As far as like governments go.
Don't give it your energy. Don't even give it that energy. Like if
And that's
Well,
it.
yeah,
That's
but you have to
probably
be
the best.
aware of it somewhat to
you
be
can
able
be
to
aware of
protect
it,
yourself.
but you don't have to
Especially today, because
give your emotion to it. Don't give any emotion to it, guys.
just be smart about it. Be smart.
That's the whole. Hey,
It's
sister.
like-
that's the whole reason for our show. Like me and Jara. Like she's the one that has the logic, and I'm the one that has the. I'm the one. What am I? Free spirit. I'm sort of a free spirit.
She's the one that I have to watch out and make sure that there's not any sneaky ninjas behind her, because she thinks everybody is coming out of a cloud and she loves everybody.
I
and
love
she's happy,
everybody
and
that
she
comes
won't
out of
watch
the
out
cloud.
for the people that might accidentally try to poke her with
They
something.
won't poke me.
So I will watch out for those people.
I'm guided.
She's got your back.
You're not.
I'm Susie's the like.
I have an army. I've got a Jara.
She's the nice one that would go out and greet people, and I'm the warrior person that's skeptical of everybody, and I have questions. I don't trust anybody.
Evil energy sees me and it runs the other way because my light is so bright. I'm guided and protected.
Yeah,
And I truly believe that from the head to the toes, and that's what I'm sticking to it.
evil just doesn't like me because they think I'm annoying, like everybody
Either
else.
way.
Everybody else thinks I'm annoying.
Good for it. Like good. Like even that. Like I don't care if evil thinks I'm annoying. Just stay the hell away from me. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there are things that will be happening. I feel like this is the part of my life that I was like, I don't
You
know
were
how,
born
but I
for.
was,
You were born for this.
I'm
shit,
getting
Jara.
ready to do what I'm supposed to do, which I don't even know what that is yet or what that means at all. I have no idea.
You
what
should
that
always be prepared to do what you're supposed to do.
Yep, you should. You
That is
you
very
already
true.
are. Just waking up in the morning is what you're supposed to do.
I think basically the most important thing is just be a good person.
Jara. Be you,
Just
Jen.
be a good person.
You are. a
Don't
good
shit in
person.
somebody's cereal.
Don't.
It's rude.
Don't piss
Don't
in
do
someone's cereal. For what? Nah, nothing, right?
Right. Right. And poop do not go together. I want my family to go camping because I think it's weird that we've never tried to camp. Like my husband and my kids and I want us to try to camp, the four of us, like to see if we could
camping
do
is
it.
the best. That's my
Like
favorite
just
thing to
in
do.
case we ever had to camp.
Oh, I see.
Like I want to make sure that we
It's
know how
practice,
to camp.
yes.
Because I feel kind of embarrassed about that actually. That I
Oh,
don't.
man,
I'm like
you're missing
I don't know how to
out
put
so
up a tent.
bad.
I've never put up a tent.
Camping is
before.
the greatest fun you can ever have.
I know. I can't wait. I want to try it. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
I'm a happy camper. Are you a camper, Enzo?
I mean, I've gone camping and I don't mind camping. I mean,
I love it.
I guess I'd sort of be camping if I can ever get this whole van thing to kind of
Yeah.
come together.
We're gonna
Yeah.
camping it up.
So, where you don't have all, the luxuries that you have in your home. You don't necessarily have constant electricity. You don't
You
necessarily
got
have
shit in the
running
woods
water.
like a bear.
Yep.
Well, I'm good at camping like that. I just don't know how to put up a tent.
It's horrible and wonderful all at the same time.
I have this
I
great
don't have
little dome, like one person dome tent that literally I picked it out specifically because it was so easy. You literally open it like an umbrella. It's got this centerpiece. You kind of fold down the legs of it from the
Those are
middle,
nice.
and you just like go inside and you literally just lift up on it like an umbrella. Tunk, and it's a nice
Nice.
little dome.
That's awesome. My husband has a hat that's an umbrella.
That's pretty
I
good.
know, it's like cool. He like sits on top of it. I was like, oh, that's a cool hat. That's a good idea. That's what you call a good idea right there. An
Have
umbrella.
a
I
little
have
like
a tent that is like a cabin. It's like a big, huge. It's as big as a house.
Yeah,
Yep,
I like big tents.
I love it too.
bouncy houses don't count.
What?
What was that?
Bouncy houses don't count.
Oh,
Oh.
you could make it into this tent is so big you could make it into a bouncy house. That'd be cool.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If
Okay.
you'll have to take video of everything. Not that you'll see much in the video because
Actually, I have a specific device that I bought just for this. I'll use it for other things once I figure it out. But it's a smart telescope where and it has solar filters on it, so it'll be tracking the sun the whole time, and you'll be able to
cool.
see, you know, the moon as it comes in and goes past and all of that stuff. So there's a whole, because I'm trying to get into the totality area, there's a process, because like I said earlier, when it gets to where the moon is totally covering the sun, that's when it's safe to take off your special glasses and take the filters off of your telescope, where now you're just filming just the outer atmosphere basically of the sun, because that's one of those rare instances where you'll be able to see it as it is with the naked eye, because once it'll just look like this big glowing thing with a big black hole right in the middle of it. It's kind of what it'll look like. It's not an actual black hole, but
do you remember that movie? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was done.
What movie?
I was gonna say The Night of the Comet, I think from the 80s. Like,
Ooh,
where
what was
there
it
was
about?
Yes.
It sounds like I watched it.
Do you remember that?
Great movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. And they get melted or whatever.
Yeah, they everybody just turned to like powder, and then it get rained, and everybody just kind of like floated
no, I'm
away.
just kidding.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I think that I had the guy from Gremlins in it.
Did it? Oh, Gremlins!
Yeah.
I love that movie.
I think you've seen that movie too.
I think I have.
Yeah, it was probably.
I'm sure I have. My sister had me watching every crazy movie that was on HBO.
Me too. I was allowed to watch rated R, so
I was not.
Night of the Comet is
seeing
one of
Rambo
those
and-
classic 80s sci-fi films where it's
Yeah, I'm sure I did
super
watch it.
80s, because the two girls that are the main characters that survive the Night of the Comet, where they don't go out and look at it and all that stuff, and aren't affected by it, immediately first thing they do is go to the local mall and start buying up clothes and all this other and it's all crazy 80s looking stuff. It's like just hilarious just for that part.
Yeah,
But
I love 80s movies.
I love 80s movies. They don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't.
the guy that played Chakotay on Star Trek Voyager is in it as like the main crush guy
Is he
that
the hot
shows
guy?
up later in the thing. Yeah, he was the young man at that time, and he's in there. I don't remember who else was in that. I want to say there was a couple other people, because it ends up, of course, that there are some people that are kind of like disfigured and kind of mutated and stuff like that.
Right,
They have to deal with in the show.
That's the part I remember.
Did they go through a
melted
photon belt or what?
Huh?
Did they go through a photon
Yeah.
belt?
Well, no, the comet came over, I think, and they were like in a movie theater or something. So they didn't know or something, and they like left, and then there's all these like melted people. I don't know. It was a long time ago. I was only like 5, I think, when that movie came out.
I might be confusing my movies, but I think everybody that was outside when the comet went over basically just disintegrated and turned to like dust.
What were the melted? Wasn't there melted people that were like kind of like all? Or
well,
am I
I
confusing
think those.
movies too?
I don't know. I want to say that one. The Night of the Comet was where everybody just kind of like turned to dust, and then it rained, and everybody like kind of washed away all the bodies. So that way they didn't have to have dead bodies everywhere for production wise.
Okay.
And then there were some people that were partially affected by it that are like, the bad guys, and they're the zombies that are kind of going out and trying to kill people. All the survivors.
Okay, maybe that's what I remember. But they weren't melted. I thought I remembered them being.
Honestly, I don't remember. That sounds right though. I want to say they were kind of malformed because they were partially melted. I guess I don't know.
Well, it should be interesting anyway. Everything is these days,
or it might not be.
Or it might just be super blah.
My personal prediction is
Nothing
catastrophic will happen, but because this happens all the time somewhere on Earth. There's an eclipse every several months and stuff like that. So
but it going over certain cities to me is that's why I think it's just marking something. It's marking significance for someone out there somewhere.
There's something. Why is it recorded this way?
If somebody could get a message out of that to maybe change their life and straighten up a little bit, then I guess that's okay.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty remarkable message to go over 7 cities that were supposed to be destroyed because of their wickedness.
Hello, Batmom. Hello, Tessa.
It's a
How are
pretty
you?
big message. The United States of America. Maybe
We-
should
we-
tighten up our
This
act.
country does need a wake-up call, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's getting one.
I think
trust
God's
me.
telling us, like, yo, United States, yo,
The wake up call.
stop
has
it.
happened.
Stop it.
Anybody who doesn't see stuff that stuff is happening right now, it's just choosing not to see it because it's right in front of everybody's faces.
We do live in a society right now, especially in the United States, where even though you're both watching like the same news, like a live news conference with whoever or whatever, depending on your personal beliefs and your political persuasions, you're seeing it's like two movies on the same screen is basically how it's described.
Yes.
People they're interpreting what they're seeing as this, where someone else watching the exact same broadcast at the same exact time sees it a completely different way. Just it's really, really twisted. How
It is
polarized.
twisted
Psychological.
because
I
I
can
feel
tell
like
you
I
the
live in
psychological
a
behind
life
it.
where everybody, I feel like I'm living in a thing where everybody's an actor.
It's
Because like all the government, all the politicians, they all seem like they're acting to me. Like they don't seem real. Like I literally feel like I'm always watching acting or something. It's so annoying.
So the human psychology about what you guys are talking about is that we are all, everything you see, you translate it is like for you. So everybody is perceiving each other. Like I'm perceiving you the way I perceive you, not the way you really are.
Right.
Like everybody's doing, and you're doing that to me, and you're doing that to you, and everything we watch on TV, we're doing that too.
Well, none of us can even see each other how we really are.
Yeah. So nobody
Or
does.
hear each
So
other
it's
how
not.
we really sound.
So it's all you. Everything is a reflection of yourself. Everything, you don't really see what you think you're seeing yourself, and people don't recognize that, and it's hard for people to wrap their head around that unless you do the work to understand it and kind of like heal that.
Right. And then like when you're acting or when you're just being you, right? Sometimes certain people can like have an effect on the way you act because they make you feel like insecure or whatever.
Or they make you feel really good.
Right. So, but like how they're like, let's say they make you feel like kind of like they don't like you or something, then you start acting a certain way based off of their perception of you. So then everything gets all jacked up. Yeah, that's why it's just easier to be yourself. And if people don't like you, then oh well, because there's a whole lot of people.
That mom brings up this great point. It's like witnesses of an accident. Every person sees something different. It's rare for them to see the exact same thing. If you ask any police officer or fire department, or when I was in the Air Force, I was part of a mishap investigation team for like aircraft crashes specifically. I never had to respond to one because the planes I work on are like built in the 60s, and we've kind of got it figured out. But anyways, you read through different witness statements because you just give somebody a piece of paper that's mostly blank. It's got like put your name and your phone number, your contact information on there, and then just write exactly what you saw. Don't infringe on it. Just stick to the facts. And some people will just put the car crashed into the other one. And some people will write, they're like Stephen King. It's this 5-page thing about the person was bravely gripping the wheel of the car, trying to avoid the accident, but it couldn't be helped because the other it's crazy because some people, they read into it and add in all of those things. Even though they watched the exact same thing, one person's is like, yeah, that car crashed into that one, which isn't full of facts, that's for sure. Right. And anyone that walks up on the scene can probably kind of figure that out. But then the other person is the complete opposite of, I could see through the windshield the determination as they gripped the steering wheel. It's bananas, some of that stuff.
Well, and it's impossible for two people to see the exact same thing because nobody can be in each other's toes, So everybody's literally looking at something from a different vantage point.
Right. And of course, everyone has their own experiences about seeing things and things like that. Like I'm very curious to see what Bat Mom shot a video.
Yeah, Bat Mom, send it to me in the messenger and I'll put it on here.
Hey, there you go. because that used to be a thing I used to do for fun back in the day on other shows where we would watch like YouTube not YouTube, but TikTok videos for like UFO sightings and stuff like that, and kind of figure it out. It's like, no, that's a plane. You can see because there's the lights, and if you look, there's another light behind it. This is along where the runway comes in, and they're all lined up behind each other. That's what that is. Things like that, which from my perspective, I have expertise in that because I spent 24 years in the Air Force and have a lot of time staring at the sky, waiting for planes to land and things like that. So I would recognize that, where somebody else that's never been in that position to see it, the parallax effect, where you're driving down the road near an airport where the plane is landing in the opposite direction that you're traveling, and it looks all the world like that plane is just hanging and hovering in the air because you're going this way, the plane is going that way.
And it did look like that.
Yeah, my son told me he saw that once. He was like, the plane was just sitting there. I saw it. It froze. He thought there was a glitch in the Matrix, maybe.
Right.
I saw a plane.
You saw a plane what?
I saw a plane do that. That was just standing there. It was just stuck there.
And now, to be fair, there are a couple of videos out there that aren't that. There's one, I want to say it was Florida. It was somewhere down south, where it was a plane that was pulling a one of those signs behind it. Those what do they call those things? Where it's a smaller plane, where they have like the big message thing on it, and all the world looks like it's just sitting in one spot, and that the little message thing that it pulls behind it is just sticking out straight. It's like, what's happening in this photo? What's going on? Nikki just sent me the video.
I think they sent it to me. I got to put it on here. I'm trying to put it on here. Okay.
It's weird though. It'll be calm for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
did it go up?
4 of them. Can't do that. What the fuck is going on?
Can you see that, Tegan?
Don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well,
right now.
I'm trying to get it on video. Well, I want to record it. Can you try and record it?
Okay, now I know.
Really?
Those are pretty actually.
Okay, so let's see. What is this? Let me see what I can see here.
They look like birds, but you
what am I seeing? I wish I could slow it down.
No, yeah.
I have a slowed down version that Nikki sent me.
Oh, you do? Okay, better. Let's see what you got, buddy.
Let me do this, and
yeah,
this.
I took it. Okay. Okay, wait. I'm trying in zone. Okay, here we go.
All right. I'm gonna hit play. This is because of, you see there's white dots all through here that stretch way up.
Okay, I see.
There.
What the fuck is going on?
That cracks me up.
Can you see?
Oh wow, there's a bunch.
I'm trying to take down the message. How do I do it?
Oh, I'm trying to get on video.
Sorry, I'm a child. That cracks me up.
Oh, there's some up here.
Chilly, huh?
Can you
I need to drink more so I can interpret this.
Right.
I can't see.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so there's little white dots. I see. I can barely see.
Wait, I don't see
Uh,
any.
w-
Where?
Hang on a second. See if I can- We're gonna mute that so we can talk over it.
Okay.
But hang on. We'll back up a little bit here. We'll just let this run for a second. Basically, there are what end up being like small dots, like this one down in the lower right.
Okay.
Were they
see that one.
egret?
But-
Those one birds.
Well, it looks like a little dot.
Cattle egrets. Some that would be like right there. We saw a whole
'Cause
swarm of them.
It does look like I've seen egrets by my house that look
Ooh.
just like that.
Like that?
Yeah, because when the
Right.
sun hits their
So-
wings, they're white. They're like real white.
Oh,
At least
wow.
I've seen
Brilliant
this
white,
because there's a nature preserve by my house, and when the sun hits their wings, it reflects off the sunlight, and it almost even lights up a little bit. They look like
Wow.
little balls of light, and the way they fly in formation too. So like when they tilt a certain way, because I thought I saw a UFO one day too. There was like 12 of them, and it looked just like that. But it was birds. But they were like, I had to wait for a minute because if they have to be turned a certain way for you to see their wings, otherwise they look like balls.
But the other thing where if you're seeing them like edge on and they're a larger bird like an egret, where they have a large flap where they go way above their body and then way below their body, is you'll see like a flicker of their wings, but it's not a constant like on kind of a thing. It's like suddenly you see a little flash, then a little flash, and a little flash, and a little flash, a little flash, and if there's a number of them, you're like seeing multiple like flashes, and it's moving, and it looks super weird, but it's the way that the light's hitting them. It's from your perspective.
Yeah, the wings.
There's a lot of things that go into it, but to Bat Mom, you're the one that filmed this. What do you think it was?
It looks like orbs.
I have Damascus in my hand.
Damascus.
This is for Donald Fuller. He's not in here, but hey, Donald Fuller, I'm holding a big old chunk of Damascus in my hand right now. My brother is going to make this into a hammer. Yeah.
What is
It's
Damascus?
heavy.
Let me
It's
hold
a
it.
type of steel. Look at the patterning. You see it?
Yeah.
Pattern.
Ew, that's cool. Oh, that's cool.
He did that by like.
I just wanted to touch it.
Has like
can't-
almost like a wood grain to it. Yeah, that's very
pattern.
cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So he forged that, y'all. It's Damascus steel, and it's really heavy. My brother's super talented.
Yes, he is.
I have pictures of his thing too.
What's your website, Jamie?
It's all on Instagram. Roadrunner Knives.
At Roadrunner
Roadrunner
Knives.
Knives on Instagram.
He's super duper talented. He's very.
Oh, they didn't look like orbs on. What did they look like in person? Like saucers?
Did they flash? If they flash, because the wings make like a little flat. Is that what you were talking about, Enzo? Is the wing kind of flashing?
Basically, yeah.
somehow? Yeah, it
But,
does, and it looks like a light. It's so weird. Like, and I've seen it 3 times now because I was showing that to my husband. I thought the first time I thought it was drones.
Hmm.
And then I was like, because they looked small, but
For they look more like a
Like a
capsule,
capsule.
Bat Mom says. Interesting. So a Tic Tac.
Could be the Tic Tac.
and
How
where are you,
many
Bat
did
Mom? What part of
you-
the country
Yeah.
are you in?
That was actually my next question.
Torpedo-ish, like the cigar.
Like the Tic Tac.
That's what it was. It's them. They're showing us. They're here. Don't be afraid, guys. I'm afraid that I'll be
Reno.
afraid, but I don't think I'll be
Okay.
afraid.
Bat
We're
Mom's
here.
in Reno. I'll be visiting that area this summer.
Oh boy.
I'll
Reno's
be,
pretty cool with the Truckee River.
Oh,
be
you're
out
in Reno?
Virginia City. Yeah.
Reno. Why do I want, for some reason, the word that I feel when I hear
feel
Reno
the man
is,
in Reno
is deep. Is there something
just
deep in
to
Reno?
see him die.
is there like a lake? Like what's deep?
There's a
Lake Ta-
river,
no.
Truckee River.
Lake
Is there something
Tahoe.
deep in Reno? Is there something deep in Reno? I'm in deep
Deep?
in deep
No.
Reno. Like the name of a
There's-
book.
well,
Shit. Art
Virginia
style.
City is nearby, which has a lot of famous haunted locations and is known as a silver mining town from the
Oh,
old
Lake
West.
Tahoe.
Oh, I guess I could take that down now.
Okay, and then in Tahoe. Yeah, so there's Nevada's an interesting place too. I was looking at on Google Earth. I don't know. It's just very interesting, our country, and I feel like they haven't really looked at stuff. There's got to be so much treasure buried on the reservation. Not treasure to me. When I say treasure, I mean items of significant value because of their like what they mean or whatever, not because of treasure as in like
So-
gold coins. I don't mean gold coins.
Like
For a
doubloons?
question for Bat Mom, how far from the Lake Tahoe were you when you where you filmed this? Because anytime there's a large body of water, I always have to include seagulls in the mix, because seagulls, they'll travel together as a group, but they're really spread apart. They're very far apart. It's not like a flock of birds where they kind of stay together. Seagulls stay really far apart. 30 miles away from Lake Tahoe. Okay.
You're 30 miles away from Lake Tahoe? You lucky lady. I'm so jealous. I would like to come and visit you. I heard Tahoe's pretty.
30,
I'm looking
30
at
minutes
Pyramid
to
Lake right
Tahoe,
now.
but Truckee River is 8 miles. Okay.
Dixie Valley.
Could you tell like a direction of travel, like where they were coming from and where they were going to for these whatever you saw?
Oh.
I killed a man in Reno just to watch
Wait,
him.
I didn't realize that
die.
Reno was that close to the border of California.
Oh yeah. It's actually split. Half of it's on the California side, half of it's on the
Oh, is
Nevada.
it? I didn't know that. Cool. Wait, do you guys have a dune there? What is that?
A dune.
What is that? Sandy Lake or something? What is that? Cold Spring? What is that big white thing? Sorry, I'm looking at Google Earth.
Oh,
Whenever somebody tells me where they're at or where they're from, I'm all.
they were going.
I'm addicted,
east
guys.
To north.
I have a Google Earth problem.
You do.
Don't tell me where you're at because I'll Google Earth
I'll
you.
find you.
No.
I will Google Earth you, I swear.
Because just for me, if I was investigating this, I would have to ask about, gulls. Gulls are thick around any kind of large body of water,
Ooh, wow.
and they will wander around. I live in near Wichita, Kansas, and I see gulls periodically. And it's certainly, if you see one, like do a 360, because there's going to be others nearby. They're just really spread out.
Whoa. So y'all have something called White Lake, and it's actually white, I guess. Right? What is that?
Show it. Show your screen, Jara.
Oh. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm Google Earthing it over here.
We lost her, guys. She gone. No, I'm just kidding.
Sucked into
Wait,
the
how do I-
Google Earth.
I am so addicted to Google Earth. There's so many things I've seen on Google Earth that I have to go now, and see if it's really there, because there's no street view, but it sure looks like a whole lot of something. Like
A whole lot of something.
a
going
whole
on.
lot of something going on. A whole lot of something going on. I can't. How do I share my?
For Bat Mom, since you actually witnessed this thing, how many of those objects do you think there were? This is the worst part about trying to interact with the chat on the YouTube, because there's like a
Come on, let's show you
15-second
that.
delay
I know.
from the time we ask to the time they can be able to answer.
I'm gonna challenge Bat Mom to come on the show one day.
She's
one
come
of
on
these
me
days.
with me before.
She has?
Mhm.
Not when I've been on. Bat Mom?
Oh, it must have been a different show.
Different show.
Either
Wow.
Citrus Cyclone
Gee.
or something.
Yeah,
So
hop
do you
on
really
here.
want
Well, you don't have to have your camera on if you want to hop on
You don't
and
have to put your
tell
camera
us
on.
about
It's
it.
the voice.
She says she saw about 30.
30,
The
dude.
neighbors said there were
Oh,
hundreds.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So here is White Lake that is near, not too far from where Bat Mom's at. Hang on, okay, go back. I was just wondering what it was because it was white on the map and a big, large spot. That must be a Salt Lake or something.
Prison.
It's not going to let me, dude. You can take me out.
Oh, take you out?
It's going to be
Take
too
you
slow.
out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a question for Jen, maybe. So there's people saying, okay, so the sun is supposed to be in Pisces right now. And people are saying that the sun is not in Pisces. What's before Pisces? Does anybody know?
Aquarius?
I think the sun, oh, maybe. The sun is still in Aquarius. Does anybody know anything about that? Jen, my astrological woman.
Jara, oh, that was at
Oh, shit, my
that
phone
was
just
White Lake in I think is that Nevada or California? Or so hang on. That was White Lake. I was just looking at near where you're at, and there was a big white spot. So I zoomed in on it. And
Oh, do you want me to put you on again?
No, you don't have to put it on
Oh.
because it doesn't. It's buffering. It's too
Buffer.
yeah. I don't know if it's like a salt lake, but it's white, and there's neighborhoods around it. I have a question that maybe somebody might know the answer to, but I don't know. So on Google Earth, I have noticed like in many areas, like there's, for example, I live in an area called Levine, right? And I live near the Gila River Indian Reservation. So there are parts on Google Earth where it looks like there were like lots or parcels or whatever drawn out, but nobody's ever lived there. But from the aerial view, like the actual dirt looks like it's already gridded out, but there's not been houses there like ever since ever. So how is that? Like, what is that? Like, why does it look like there was something on the land in so many places where there's nothing?
Has anyone ever
Does
grown
anybody know the
crops
answer to that?
there or anything like that?
Not crops. No, not crops. It looks like parcels. And because as a realtor, you know, I can, like, when you look at a city and you can tell when they've like subdivided things or whatever, it's like been subdivided, but there's like nothing there. And there's not been anything there. Like, for example, the parts that I'm talking about that are like that by my house, they're right by the Estrella Mountains, and there's not ever been houses there. So how is it like that?
Like, what do you mean like leveled out?
Okay, so like the New Madrid fault line, those are fields. So those are like, it's kind of like that there, but those are like agriculture. But here, look. So like if you look at by the Estrella Mountains on Google Earth, there's something called what is where is it that Tiffany lives? What's it called again? The town St. John's. Yeah, there's something called St. John's right by my house, and it's like all platted out, but there's nothing there. Never been anything there. I know they're not planning. I don't know. It's just I don't understand how there can be like
what?
Like this.
Like a bare area? Probably they did mining there.
Not bare. No,
of,
it's not bare. It's like lot lines. Like they're like they here look. Like when you look at a plat map or a parcel map or whatever, they have the way they line out the parcels. Like, so like your house, the lot that your house is on is like this. Look, Susie. Okay, so
is that where my house is?
No, this is my neighborhood.
Oh.
Okay. So, but you see how see how there's houses in all these little lines or whatever. Okay, so when you go to an area that isn't built yet, but that they have made room to build new stuff, there will be things, right? Okay. Look at all this though. See all that? Like they've already platted it out.
Ooh.
You see that?
I think that,
but there's
like,
never been anything there.
Zoom in. That might be like fields.
Agriculture, right? I agree. However, in this area particularly, it's not, because I live right here. I mean, it's some of this is reservation, but it's so sectioned. It's like a neighborhood. It's just all the houses and all the people are gone. Everything else is like the market left on the land is there. I don't know.
Those certainly do look like where they tried to grow something at one point.
Yeah, maybe at one point there was fields there or something.
It's like that in a lot of parts of places, and I wonder like where did it go then? Like where did it go? What happened?
If they aren't active growth fields in an area, it'll still have the furrows where you're going to have parts that are deeper, you're going to have parts that are higher. And those lower points are going to be where any water collects. So those lower points are that's where all your weeds and stuff like that. If nobody's actively farming in that, that's where your weed, wherever the lower points are in those furrows is going to be where any condensation is going to settle. And from orbit, looking at it through a satellite, it's going to look like those lines from previous, attempts at farming and stuff like that. That's my guess. Not saying it's true or right.
Yeah.
And that whatever it is, but that would be my guess is what we're looking at there.
Maybe. They sure do get circles really circular, don't they? I remember the first when Google Earth or whatever satellite imagery first came out. I remember looking and seeing all the circles or whatever, and I was thinking, wow, look at all the crop circles. I thought they were all crop circles. Then I was like, oh, that's just how they plant things.
There are places that because I was actually looking for properties in western Kansas for a place that I could go and like set up a little mini house kind of a thing and do deep space telescope work, where they have these giant fields where they have this giant
I think
irrigation system that just runs in a circle, but the corners are like 4 or 5 acres that they don't ever use. And sometimes they'll sell them off, just those little corner pieces.
Right.
And that's what I was actually looking for years and years ago.
I found a house at the on the edge of or in a part of Nevada called Meadview. And so it's like basically just desert. It's like where the Colorado River kind of ends and turns into dirt.
I just watched a video where a guy was in Meadview the other day. He was talking about cheap properties to buy if you were wanting to settle places.
Oh, how funny. Yeah, this property is like
so
literally
weird.
at the end of the Colorado River, and it's like literally the only house for like I was like, wow, dude, you're so isolated. Yep. I was looking at it from on Google Earth.
The video I was watching is because basically it's where the Grand Canyon is over here.
Yeah.
Lake Mead is because it's called Meadview because you can see Lake Mead from there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all kind of scrub areas and kind of like low hills and stuff like that. The properties he were showing, he's like, yeah, you can pick this half acre up for like $500, but half of it was like this. It was like up a hill and all that stuff, rocks, and you had to
let's get one in
dude. Let's have a real. No, there's ruins. There's ruins there. I say there's all kinds of stuff there that they haven't. I mean, that's Jara. Jara's not a scientist or an archaeologist, just wants to be one. But I think there's ruins there for sure. From what like when I look at Google Earth, like there's certain things that I've seen that when I see that, I always find ruins like right around there. And Meadview has a lot of the rock formations look like stuff was buried there. Buried in the dirt. It's interesting.
I feel there were certainly people here a long time ago, like greater than 12,000 years ago.
Yes,
I feel.
Oh yeah, there was people here there was advanced people here a long time ago. All the stuff just got demolished and messed up and buried and
right.
Yeah. So yes, sir. There's probably all kinds of directions from somebody somewhere on some tablets that we haven't found yet.
Someone knows where they are and they're hiding them.
Yep. Some cave somewhere with amazing drawings in there that shows exactly where all the good stuff is. That's one of the things I want to do with whenever I get the van. I know I keep mentioning the van. I went and looked at one today. It didn't work out.
You're
But,
gonna get
You
it soon. You're gonna get it soon because we've talked about it, so it's like already a
We're
thing.
manifesting it for
Yeah,
you.
you're gonna get it soon.
Yeah, I'll be doing traveling later this year, like in a few months. I don't know that I'll have one for at least the first leg of it. Where I go out west, actually going to California for Contact in the Desert, which I'll
You're
be
gonna
driving
find
through.
one while you're here, maybe if you don't have one before time. But I bet you're gonna have one before you come here.
I wish you
So
would
I'm doing.
like plot out a couple of days or a day at least to
He's
stay
going
with
to.
us so we can go exploring together.
He already said he would.
I will
You
totally
better.
do that.
Mhm.
It-
Let's go exploring.
It depends. It depends on if I have the van or not, because I have to find a place to sleep somewhere on that route, because it's for me to, like, my halfway point when I drive to California is Albuquerque,
Mhm.
which is about 11 hours from my house to Albuquerque, and then another 11 hours from there to Palm Springs area, which is where they have Contact in the Desert. And it was last year when I was on the way back. That's when I stopped off at Meteor Crater for a couple hours to check that. Actually, I added that so I can actually have that as a background. Meteor Crater right here. And
We could have picked up some Shungite. What are those rocks called? They're only found there. They're called Shungtites or something.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I won't say.
Oh,
it because I'm not
from the impact, yeah. That's they're like this part of the crater right here that get blasted up and out. Everything above that gets blasted away. Like hundreds of miles radius. But because this is like the bottom of the crater down here, which I'm
almost
kind of
fell in that
blocking
one
it.
there. Well, my teacher almost pushed me in it, but we won't.
Your teacher?
Yeah.
What teacher?
Yeah, Mr. Thompson.
Oh,
This
I
is-
was like at the very edge, and he like grabbed my shirt and went "Brr,"
Why?
just to scare the shit out of me,
Whoa.
I guess.
Wait, what teacher? What?
It
Because
was Mr. Thompson, Coconino.
because at the very bottom in the middle there, you can see where they had the drilling rig back in the early 1900s, where they were trying to drill and take core samples and stuff like that. That's where they have the I'll pop back up. That's where, let me see if I can move myself a little bit. Yeah.
I love it when he does stuff
like right here. And this is where you go up to the very top, which is what this angle was from, where they have the little binoculars where you can look down in the middle of the crater, where they have like the little astronaut guy that's 6 feet tall, the flag and all that stuff that you can see. And because it seems so tiny to look at it like this, to realize that this whole thing is like right at a mile across, from this impact 20,000-30,000 years ago. But it's pretty cool. I kind of wish I would like spend a little more time there than I did like last year, but it was still a lot of fun. I loved it. That's my jam. Checking out stuff
it's a
like
jam.
that.
It is a good jam. We went there like a lot because that's the field trip. That's like the field trip you go on in Flagstaff.
If I were
go
not
to-
from Arizona and I were going to come to Arizona
You'd definitely
now,
stop there.
I would stay in Arizona for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, because there's a lot of shit here to see.
I feel like there's a couple of days I could spend like just a little further up the road. The petroglyph. I want to.
the
Well,
Oh,
there's-
Wapaki.
Oh, Wapaki?
Wapaki?
there's the it's. I want to say national forest. It's not a national forest. Petroglyph.
The petrified forest.
Oh, the petrified forest?
There's the petrified forest, which I want to
Painted
check
desert.
out.
There's a
there's
painted
also
desert. There's so
the-
many things.
There's a desert. There's also like a petroglyph national park of some type. somewhere
Yeah,
like
there
in
is.
Wilson's
There's
Park.
also Wapaki, which has all
wanna
the
check that
ruins.
out.
There's like 800 of
Oh,
They're
the
cool.
Yeah.
big old,
Mhm.
yeah.
I want to see all that, but that's like weeks to go
There's
through
also
all of
Roden
that.
Craters right there, Sunset Craters right
Yeah.
there.
Is that where Kanye bought a place?
Yeah, Roden Craters, where Kanye West invested $10 million to finish Roden Crater. They haven't opened it yet, I don't think.
That's crazy.
10 million.
Yeah,
Did he
he's
buy the
underground.
crater? It couldn't be worth
Yeah.
that
No,
much.
he didn't buy it. He
Oh.
invested 10 million. It was already, the guys owned it since like the 70s, I think. And he just sat there and he was working on it. It wasn't until Kanye put in the rest of the money that they got stuff done. Yeah,
That's
Kanye
pretty
knows a
cool.
lot. He knows too much.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's-
Kanye might know
He's
more than
weird.
Yeah, he is weird, but
That's because he knows a lot.
That's
Weird
some
people know
inside
lots of
info.
things.
That's because he knows a lot.
Well, and that kind of matches people that when they find out the truth, kind of go a little crazy.
yeah, I
because
did. I know I did. I went a little
the
crazy.
truth
It was shocking.
is crazier than you can kind of imagine. Is kind of
Absolutely.
how
The
it
truth
works.
is stranger than fiction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we used to call those the cockafalls when we ditch school and go to them. Almost drowned. I didn't drown. I didn't get in the cockafalls, but that's a crazy place. It looks like Augustus in the chocolate.
Wait, that's not
chocolate
Arizona.
factory.
That's not Arizona. So I was looking at volcanic fields and volcanic stuff or whatever, and so yeah, there's 600 volcanic features in Arizona and 3 active volcanoes: the San Francisco field, the Uncaret field. I don't know if I said that right, and Pinacate field
You have a picture of the
Is that
cockafalls,
you
right?
down
Of
there?
Grand
Your
Falls?
hands up.
of Grand Falls.
Yeah, the chocolate falls.
Yeah, but I don't have it labeled.
Oh, you don't have it.
I mean, I have it. I just don't have it labeled, so I have to find it. And you can Google. Yeah, that's one of my Google Earth videos.
It's kind of far from the town. I really shouldn't have been there at that young
Grand
age.
Falls. It's like 30 miles. You can't go there anymore, though. They
You can't?
closed it to the public.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think they closed it because they, well, I don't know. It's ruins,
Probably, or maybe too many kids were ditching school going there.
maybe. No,
It's
they said
dangerous.
it's because everybody messed it up. Like people were leaving trash, and that at least that's what they say. Don't know if that's accurate.
Who
That's what they
knows?
always say.
Yeah.
So I want to know, in places where there are volcanoes, like, do they have like drills in school typically about stuff like that? Because we never had any
We never
drills.
had any of that shit.
And
probably
we
should've.
literally lived on a volcano, like on it, like
I
on
lived
it.
at the base of it.
It's
Yeah.
not active though, right?
I think
It
they're
is
all
active. Yeah. It is.
And then really, like, if they say that it's not active, can it just be active anyway?
Yeah. Because
Well,
it's Earth.
There's
Earth
things
has
that lead
so
up to it. It's not like it's suddenly just gonna erupt out of
Blow.
the blue. There,
Well,
there's
it's active enough.
there's
that
going to
the
be
Earth has a
rumblings. There's
hotspot,
going to be
but no.
localized earthquakes. There's going to be things that lead up to where it becomes active. It's not just okay. That's just a mountain as far as I know for my entire life. And then suddenly the whole thing explodes. It's there's incremental things that lead up to it being like that. Although having an active volcano, I am kind of surprised there wasn't some kind of like evacuation plan or something like that.
Arizona has 3 active volcanic fields.
What are they?
The San Francisco, the Uncaret, and the Pinacate.
Is the San Francisco Peaks? Is that where the hot spot is?
No, the San Francisco Peaks is just a volcano, but there is a hot spot on the peaks. Yeah, that snow never stays. It melts on the peaks in one spot because it's hot on that spot. It's a hot spot. Yeah. That's craziness. I can't believe that they don't like do a little bit more precautionary kind of things, especially because like, I don't know. I feel like electromagnetism probably does have an effect on earthquakes, or could at least, and so can solar activity. So like, I don't know, when you're having comets and eclipses and everything all happening at the same time, and you live in a state that has a whole bunch of volcanoes that they never talk about, it makes you kind of worried
Like,
a little bit.
hello. I don't know. Yeah.
There was a guy not that long ago that was, I remember being on Arpel, where he drew a correlation to lunar cycles and earthquakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
He was
believe it.
kind of right.
Yeah, because the
where-
tides are by the lunar cycle.
Exactly. And that was his rationale for the whole thing, where if things are just right in a certain area and then the moon passes over because the The moon has it does gravitationally affect the earth. It's like you say, how we get the tides.
Everything in the sky can affect the earth.
Mhm.
Everything that we see in the sky,
Well, I think
can
everything affects
potentially
everything.
affect the earth because, well, we're all like, yeah. I think for sure.
Oh, definitely. Everything's energy. So energy is going to affect energy, and energy transforms.
His other thing that, as I recall, was it also included local rainfall, where water falling on a large area is weighting down like the tectonic plate, kind of an idea. Where
Oh, well,
now basically you're pushing, because the tectonic plates kind of float on the surface of the earth, sort of. It's not exactly like that, but that's just for simplistic purposes. It's kind of how it works. Some plates rub together. That's where you're going to have the most earthquakes, where they're jarringly moving against each other, things like that. That's your San Andreas fault kind of a thing, because it's a lateral slip point. There is no the idea of California is just going to fall off into the sea. That's not the kind of fault that it is. It's a
Right.
laterally
slip.
moving thing.
Yeah.
So San Diego is more than likely going to end up eventually up due west of San Francisco eventually, thousands of years from now. But it's not going to just disappear.
There's so many
way.
ancient maps where California is an island.
Yeah,
Separate from the
there's
United
certainly that. Well, that's kind of the idea that it would be is, Southern California is where the San Andreas is. Well, it would go this way. And it would, the San Andreas, everything west of the San Andreas moves northwest. Everything east of the San Andreas kind of stays where it's at, if not rattles a little bit to the southeast. And you get things like San Diego and southern part of Los Angeles that would form an island, kind of an area, and that would move to the northwest along the coastline with a giant gulf of water between them and the main west coast, which is what it would be at that time. So yeah, it's but we're talking a long time from now. This isn't going to happen tomorrow. So
Well, and I think Arizona on I probably have to go into Arizona on a lot of ancient maps is not even like there, so we're like underwater or something.
What? Oh, on those
On a lot of ancient maps.
on
Arizona is
ancient
not
maps?
even.
Has anybody seen maps that they like future maps like they're predicting where California's gone
where it's
and
gone.
Arizona has beach?
California has it on ancient maps anyway. California's been there most of the time. It's just always different. But Arizona's like not there very much, which is weird.
When I visit later this year, can you show me a lot of these places, like
Oh,
ancient
for sure.
battles
Yeah.
and stuff like that? Because that's what I want to see. That's really what I want to see.
Yeah,
I'm the
absolutely.
boss. I can take off of work whenever I want.
Yeah, me too. I don't have a job.
We'll coordinate, because I want to
Uncle Bob.
see. I want to see.
There's
what
like
you
a
guys
lot
see.
here too that I haven't ever discovered or seen because I didn't realize that. I guess I wasn't really thinking about stuff like that back then or something. I don't know what happened. I got bit by some historical nerd bug or something.
The nerd bug.
I got bit by a nerd bug.
I think my sister got bit by a nerd bug.
Yeah. Well, I was bit by the nerd bug a long time ago though. So yeah, I think I was bit when I was born.
Just almost broke my nail trying to open this.
Always been a bit of a dork. A little bit. You know what I mean, right, Enzo?
I don't
Yes,
know what
I
it means.
do.
I've never been a dork.
Well, I don't know, Susie. You're
Maybe now is the
'Cause
most
you're
dorkiest
matching.
I ever been.
yeah, Susie was cool.
I was like the Fonz.
Susie was the Fonz.
I was the Fonz.
I was never the Fonz. I'm always the goofy weirdo. And he's
You were
got a
Pocky?
tinfoil hat. He's the
Oh,
tinfoil
shit.
hat guy.
That's
Where does that reference come from?
Yeah, well, how did that
the
come, how
tinfoil
did that
hat
come
thing.
about?
What does that
Does anybody know?
mean exactly?
The tinfoil hat actually
they
had it
can't
on
read your
backwards.
head. They can't read your.
Oh, there you go.
It looks like
This
a
this
Jiffy
is
Pop.
this is actually an old Doughboy World War I style hat that I got at a Spirit Halloween a couple of years ago for $5 when they were closing.
Oh, nice.
I just put tinfoil on it, but the idea being the tinfoil is deflecting any kind of mind control radio
So nobody
can
beams
read your
going into
mind.
your
Well, dude,
head.
that's a good idea, man. We
But
should all wear
that
those.
doesn't work. People that read your mind can still read your mind, even if you
Silver line close.
But,
even if you have that hat on.
But that's what the reference is when everybody's like, "Yeah, this is tinfoil hat territory, talking about that kind of stuff." Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
what this is. And I just
everybody's
label
making
it,
fun of somebody
so.
that had a really good idea.
Oh yeah. What's that? A bag? What's that bag that you put your phone in so that your phone doesn't get
A
all
Faraday
a
bag.
Faraday bag. I
Oh,
want one of those.
Faraday cages are a thing. Faraday bags
Yeah.
are a thing. I actually have a as part. I'm like half a prepper.
Oh, cool.
I
He's
don't.
like,
You're half prepared.
I don't get like super crazy nuclear apocalypse kind of stuff, because if that happens, it's like that just kill me. I'm too old to try.
Right,
and
it's
figure
whatever.
out
Right,
stuff.
not gonna
kill
make
me. I
it.
don't want to be here.
We're not even gonna make it, so I'm not even gonna prep for
But
that.
but I am a firm believer that we're gonna get smacked by the sun at some point. So
Oh, yeah.
having an
We're gonna,
EMP
evaporate.
related kind of a thing is not unwise. I have an old tablet that I don't use anymore, but it still works. It's just kind of old and kind of slow. That you can actually go to, and you can look this up on Google and do it yourself. Where you can download the entire contents of Wikipedia. Yes, political stuff is kind
I
of weird.
will. Yeah, I will.
But you
I'll do
can,
that today.
I have like all of that and like a ton of electronic books that are all like first aid, how to, build
You're smart.
shelters,
You're
how to live
doing
on
what
the
I'm
land,
doing.
how to grow that. And I have all of that
I've
stuff
got it all up
along
here.
with, well, I have all that stuff on that old tablet. It's in a giant Faraday bag along with the wiring and all that stuff for like a small like 30-watt solar panel setup so that I can charge it. So
Oh, cool.
if
That's cool.
a giant EMP hits,
What if there's no sun?
I have that stuff. Well, if there's no sun, we're all gonna die.
I think we're kind of
that's the plain
sure.
simple fact of that.
I don't know if that's happened yet.
That's something that it's one of those dumb things that everybody's got like an old phone or something like that, where you could do that same stuff with an old phone that you don't use anymore. It still works. It's just you upgraded to something else and you didn't trade it in, or it was too old, or didn't think about it, or whatever the situation is.
I have a bunch of
you've
those
got an
laying
old phone or an old tablet. You can load a ton of stuff like that on there, and
I'm just gonna load
you
my
can go on
TikTok
Amazon right now and get those, larger kind of like Faraday bags that fold all up and all that stuff, where you put the cable to charge it that goes to like a mini like solar panel thing. That's exactly what I did with my old setup. So, and
we should also do
maybe if you remember, every like once a year you update the new whatever the stuff you have on there that changes, like Wikipedia from year to year. But the lion's share, because if you like, Wikipedia certainly has a bad rap as far as like politics and stuff like that. But you could look up how to build a fire, how government works.
Right.
There's a lot of actually really good info on Wikipedia in a whole. But basically, you could reboot society with Wikipedia.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to go
right
ask
here.
ChatGPT about like a bunch of different things, like please tell me how to build a fire, please. And then I was going to save all the answers and then have it
now,
just in case.
Ideally, prepper wise, ideally you would want an actual physical book with.
Oh, right. No, I would print. I would like to print them out. But
Bushcraft 101. Medical stuff is big to have on there, and especially like living off the land kind of this plant
medicine,
is good to eat.
Plant.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm downloading everything from Jason. I've been downloading Jason's everything, dates, maps.
I don't, honestly, for me, I don't trust Chat GPT, and I stay kind of away from it.
Chat GPT, you can tell that it's been programmed to have a certain narrative.
Yep.
You have to get, in order for it to answer your question, you have to ask it in a way. You have to ask it in a way that it can't get out of telling you what it was programmed to answer you in. there's ways of doing that. It just takes, and I don't, but Chat GPT can tell us how to build a fire for sure. It
I know how to
knows
build a
that kind
fire.
of thing.
Oh yeah.
But there's also, like what I was telling Susie, just wing it, you know, like so far growing food. Oh, hey, everybody, I want to tell everybody, everybody, like, we can just grow food, guys.
Come on, guys.
My
Get it
garden,
together.
I planted stuff and I have no idea what I'm doing, and everything is doing really well so far. And it's super crazy to me that, like, I don't know, I didn't start doing this a long time ago, and I don't know why we don't all like plant, like, even in like an old container. If you don't have money to go to the store, just use the seeds from the fruit that you eat or whatever. Because I'm telling you, people, food, it really wants to grow, man, really bad, like really a lot. Like I just put some moringa seeds into a drawer to germinate
Moringa,
them.
people, moringa. That's where it's at.
Yeah, moringa is a tree that you can eat every part of the plant, and it is so healthy for you. And you can use the seed pods to clean water, to purify water. You can use it for a whole bunch of different things. But
You know that.
But yeah, I put some seeds in the drawer, and they germinated in 2 days, and then I put them in pots, and they're already like out and saying hello to the world.
Hello.
And my cucumbers, and I should put pictures of my plants.
You don't have
Maybe next time I'll do that. Next time I will have pictures of my garden, guys.
When I was a kid growing up, my parents, we always had a garden. We always did summer squash and scallions and tomatoes like you couldn't believe. And like my dad started experimenting with like jalapenos and like habaneros and spicy. He likes spicy stuff, basically to where like the leftovers at the end of the year, because you always end up with too much. My mom was really big into canning, because we always did green beans, and we'd always have green beans like coming out your butt. We had so many green beans, but that was a major thing, is like stringing them as a kid. All myself and my 3 sisters was just doing this all day with the green beans. But my mom would actually make her own version of like a V8 juice out of a lot of leftover stuff, where she had
That's
this
amazing.
Yeah.
Vitamix blender thing that would just disintegrate all of it. And it was basically her own version of all those leftover vegetables, which was a lot of it was tomatoes. So it's tomato based, tomato juice based, along with some onion and some just a bunch of other stuff. And it was great. Yeah.
Did she ever put a little bit of vodka in there, and then like a celery for good old bloody? Is it vodka that you put?
Yeah. I like Bloody
Marys. I can't say that for sure happened as a kid, but I would not be surprised.
What happened when I was a kid? I got vodka in my drink.
One year, for some reason, we had like a shitload of zucchini, and we had like zucchini kebabs, zucchini bread, fried zucchini.
We had that with our apples. We had apple trees.
Jara always had.
We had apple butter, apple sauce,
apple
pie,
apple. Good times.
Yep.
I remember that. You had a shitload of applesauce all the time. Good ass applesauce. You had green apples.
Yeah, they were golden delicious. Actually,
they were bomb. Yeah. We would eat them on the way home from school. We would just pick whatever we found on the way home from school and eat it.
That was awesome. Yeah, so like I have some leftover moringa germination things that popped out or whatever. So I'm just gonna start planting trees everywhere, randomly in public places, and then I will randomly water them and never claim them, but we'll make sure they're there. And I hope I do it so many times that they notice on the news, and they're like, I don't know who's planting all these trees.
Moringa is very good for you guys. It's so that mom would know about moringa. She's the herbalist. She's the herbal entrepreneur.
Yeah, moringa is a very, very good thing.
You can survive with it. It's good for you.
It's an anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antibiotic, anti. Did I say inflammatory?
Yeah.
Antiseptic. You can use it for cleaning. You can eat every single part of the tree. It's really high in iron, vitamin A, vitamin C.
If you want to survive, you need to get sea moss, moringa, and Celtic salt.
Don't forget about Netflix.
And water.
Just kidding.
And you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, we got to wrap it up. I'm not at home. I still got to drive home.
Yeah. And I still have to eat dinner.
I know. We're starving. Marvin.
I'm starving Jara.
So you guys, thank you for joining us. I want to plug the Psychic Wellness Fair on April 6th again. I want to plug that again. That's going to be at the Place of Spiritual Wisdom on 90.
It's 99th in Peoria. And you'll see a big sign that says metaphysical store.
And this is the store where I'm holding classes for the community to come get sessions with me as a groups. It's called Personal Empowerment Groups. So come on, if you're local, come on and join us and get some sessions in.
Absolutely.
And if you're new here, please hit the like button, subscribe, share it with your friends. Leave us a message. We'll love that. Thumbs it up. Everybody, give us a thumbs up.
And
Enzo, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
As always,
Enzo.
we love your company. We love you. We can't wait to go exploring with you.
medical astrology. I bet you there's books about that in the store that we're going to.
In my store, yeah.
There's lots of books there.
Have a great night, Bat Mom.
Have a good night, everybody.
We love all of you guys. So I hope everybody has a good rest of the week and weekend.
Oh, that's probably my mama.
All right, so we're gonna shove off, everyone. Everyone have a great one.
Everybody have
Enzo,
a wonderful
bye.
Keep your eye on the sky. Keep your eye on the sky, Bat Mom. I think
Yeah,
you might
Bat Mom.
be
I
seeing
think
more.
Yeah.
saucers.
Absolutely.
All right.
I think that's great that you filmed that stuff.
I think so too.
Yes.
Everybody film something.
Yeah, everybody should, because you know what? People, we all see stuff all the time. Oh, yep, that's my mom.
Okay, yeah, we better go. All right, everybody. Good night. Thank you.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me,